video's going. I was really just staring at my phone like, uh-huh. Oh my god. Anyway, hi guys. Good morning. It is the evening. I just got home from work. But I've been kind of having like a low day, like not feeling great. And it was on my mind. It was hold on. It was on my mind that I wanted to talk about this, and I'll get to exactly what that is in a minute. But I was just like, there's only so many times I can say the same thing to like my friends, and they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Especially the people who are going through it with me. It it and them being graduating in 2020, and my graduating class, my classmates and my college friends. So the topic of the video, after this hectic word vomit. See, it was also in my mind to write an outline, and then I was like, let me just talk, whatever, and I'll figure it out in the editing. Sorry to future me. The thing is that I feel like I should be over not getting to have a graduation ceremony or walk or do any of that stuff. I also graduated with a degree in fashion design. So my senior year, we were supposed to have a senior fashion show presentation. And honestly, there was so much drama with that. But at the end of the day, it just didn't happen. At least not the way that we wanted it to, like as a live presentation. Because of course, I graduated like deep in lockdown. Like spring break. It's so funny because when we were leaving for spring break, I was the one, everyone was like catastrophizing because a lot of people, period, but a lot of people I know have like an issue with anxiety and like overthinking things and over catastrophizing things. And I'm always the person who's like, it's not going to be that bad. This is like the realistic option. So I was telling it that back in like way back in the day when COVID was brand new, when we didn't know a lot about it, people were just like, if you're worried about COVID, get a flu shot. And that was me. I was telling people like, oh, just be safe. Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. See you after spring break. And then I think they closed the campus over spring break, and they were like, we're going to do a deep clean or something like that. And then they were like, don't come back. And then it was like, oh, but like, I'll see you in a month. And then it was like, no, you won't. I remember when we went to lockdown, I was really stressed out. But I was, I was also like, oh, it's going to be like a month, 4 weeks, whatever. Everyone quarantine, be fine. Like, only one person was allowed out of the house at a time. Like, masks everywhere. Like, when you could wear like anything to cover your face. People didn't have masks. Fighting for toilet paper. Yeah, I was the person who was like, it's going to be fine. But then the like deadline for when things were supposed to be back to normal just kept getting further and further and further, and things were just getting more and more intense. And like a lot of people now looking back have this like kind of romanticized idea of early quarantine and like, oh, you could just take a break, no working, making sourdough bread. But like I was in my last semester of college, and it's just like, okay, I was struggling so hard already. And then it was like, okay, now we're in lockdown, and I have to doing fashion requires a lot of space that I simply did not have. So I was trying to like do this stuff in my home with a budget home sewer that I got for $200 when I was 15. And like laying my fabrics on the floor to cut them with like the people in my house walking over and like walking over me and like stepping and jumping over my patterns, like yelling and screaming while I'm trying to do my work. The whole time people telling me like, "Oh, you have an extra long break, huh?" Like, no. And then telling me like, "Oh, you should make masks." It's like I'm in school. I'm doing assignments. This is my final. You want me to stop to make masks for you? I'm probably going to take out a bunch of this stuff about me complaining about my school, but it's my experience. I have the right to it, because a part of this feeling of like unfulfillment when it comes to my like whole college experience is that it was not an easy time for me at all. So it was an accomplishment for me to finish, and to finish with the major and minor that I set out to go for. At the same time, I was also like going out for opportunities more. I was trying to like get out of my shell more and be less like shy. And I felt like as I was doing that, I was seeing the benefits of doing that. And then when we went to lockdown, it was like none of that even mattered, because all of these like opportunities that had come to me, they went away immediately. And it was just like, why did I even try? Whatever. So, like, now that it's graduation season, I'm just like sad. I'm sad seeing other people graduate. I'm sorry. I'm proud of you, everyone who's graduating and who gets to have a graduation ceremony. But I'm sad I didn't get to do it. It sucks. And yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks. And I didn't think it would matter so much to me. But every year when it becomes graduation season and I see it happening on TikTok or like just like at schools when I pass them. So yeah, it's just like it's everywhere. And every year I'm like, oh, I'm going to be over it. And then every year it's like I'm not over it. And it's like at this point, I graduated 3 years ago. So it's like, it's embarrassing, like, to still be like upset about graduation. Like, even when people are like, no, like, I understand, it's, it sucks. Missing out on something like that. It still feels really selfish and like childish, because now I'm a professional woman with a grown-up job. It's like I feel like I should have moved on, or like if I had accomplished more, it would matter less to me. You know how people are like, oh, peaked in high school. It feels kind of like cringe. Like what I'm saying is like when I say like peaked in high school, like that like stereotype or archetype of people who like are stuck to the past because they didn't accomplish anything after, high school or college. It feels like, oh, I must be stuck on this because I haven't accomplished enough. Because that's sort of the like stereotype of like, I'm stuck in the past because I didn't accomplish enough. And if I have had done enough with my life, it wouldn't matter to me because there would be better things that overshadow that. And I know on a level like that's not exactly true, but I'm also like, is it though? And it's bad. Having a whole like several months, having a whole season like all of spring just be really triggering sucks. Yeah, it just really sucks to like all the time where like wherever you go have to be thinking about this thing. And especially when it's a thing that like I feel like it's cringe to be preoccupied with this still after 3 years. Even if I should be like telling myself it's not that deep, or it's, well, I don't believe in not that deep. If I should, even if I could tell myself like, it's not the biggest deal, it's not the greatest loss, like especially when it comes to COVID. Get like, there's a squirrel over there. Especially when it comes to like things you miss out on because of COVID, or like things people have lost because of COVID. Like, there's, you don't want to compare traumas, but on the other hand, it's like you have to be a reasonable person. I was gonna say there's some things in life, but basically all of life, especially when it comes to the past, especially, you just have to accept that what happened because you can't go back and do anything about it. And there's different ways to deal with that, like going forward, but I don't know of the way to like conclude this like chapter of my life. And I've tried to like, I was like, maybe I should get photos done, and I ended up not doing it. But maybe I'll try to do like something for my birthday because I'm gonna turn 25 this summer, and that feels like it's a nice round number. You know what I mean? I think 2022 the fashion show came back. Yeah, it was 2022. That was last year, and I went to that, and I got to see some of my old classmates and professors, and that was really nice. And I was like, okay, this feels like a good conclusion, which is why I was kind of surprised when this year it came back, the sadness came back around. I was not expecting that, when maybe I should have. It's just like, really, I feel like I should have been over it. Back in 2020, when my diploma finally came in the mail, I opened it and I like just started crying because it was just like, this isn't how I wanted, or not even wanted, this isn't how I pictured anything. And like, it was just very unfulfilling. Like seeing my diploma, my heart like really sank. I'm trying to explain why that was my reaction. And I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to, it wasn't what I meant. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I've known what I wanted to do since I was like 4. I was like, okay, I want to go to fashion school. So when you're a kid and you just have to go, the pathway to what you want to do is through school, you can pretty easily imagine, like, okay, I'm going to go through all the grades of school, and I'm going to go to college, I'm going to study this, and then I'm going to get my degree, and then I'm going to work in that area. And of course, there have been like moments before where like life just didn't turn out how I imagined. And that was, I should say, very heartbreaking. I think not walking for graduation, because I did graduate, but I didn't have a graduation ceremony, is what I'm saying. Not having that specifically really intensifies the feeling of like disillusionment. I'd really like to hear from other people and their like post-grad like experience. I'd really like to hear if like after you got your degree and then you were like looking for work, and even if you got work in your field, were you like really disillusioned? And especially from people who graduated in 2020, if like you think you got extra disillusioned, because I feel like I definitely did. And I tend to like, I'm kind of a roll with the punches type of person, but like the punches rolled me. But yeah, those feelings, even though they're not like related to graduating, it's that whole like time is kind of smushed together of like thing after thing of like, this is not what I planned, this isn't what I wanted, this is a big disappointment. And like the feeling of like the work I'm doing isn't paying off. I guess that's pretty much it. That's kind of I feel like that's leaving it on a sad note, but also like this whole video is sad, like because I'm sad. It's a sad time. It's a sad situation. A sad experience. And that's just what it is. But I hope eventually it won't feel that way. Alright then. If you like me, tell a friend. If you don't like me, tell an enemy. If you relate to this, and want to like express yourself in the comments, please do. If you don't relate to this, smash the share button and send it to someone who does, or who might. Maybe don't. Maybe it'll trigger them. So maybe don't. But maybe it'll be cathartic for them. Ask them for, you know that meme that's like, are you in the mental place to receive some potentially troubling information? Send them one of those and then send this video right after. Okay, bye.